Whether or you are already in the business, Michael Politz has written a must-read, the Food and Beverage Magazine's Guide to Restaurant Success. Pick up your copy today at Barnes & Noble, Amazon, Books A Million, or wherever fine books are sold.
Food and Beverage Magazine Live, bringing food and beverage to life, with your hosts, James Beard Award winner Jennifer English and Food and Beverage Magazine publisher Michael Politz. Featuring leaders in the hospitality, branded food and beverage, and CPG industries, many of whom are Jennifer and Michael's friends in the business. For an informal and informative conversation where friends in the business share the latest intel, ideas, and best practices. Live, juicy inside scoop from the tastemakers, newsmakers, bread bakers, drink shakers, spoon lickers, clam diggers, farms, foodies, and friends of the food and beverage magazine world. Here are your hosts, Jennifer English and Michael Politz.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome. I'm Jennifer English, and I am the editor-at-large of Food and Beverage Media, Food and Beverage Magazine and Proof Magazine, and we are thrilled to have you here today because every one of us that is in business today is becoming a content producer. What is content? Content is this stuff. It's the stories that we tell, the way we communicate with the world, and everyone that is in business is the world's leading expert on the business you're in. So you need to become an expert in all the ways to make your business sing. One of the ways that businesses today, especially food businesses, from brands to restaurants to events to experiences, all related to food and hospitality, they are some of the most juicy and fertile for the kinds of things that social media loves. Social media loves the world of food. And I predict that by the end of the decade, you are going to see an utter explosion. We used to have one channel of Food Network, and by the end of this decade, there's going to be more food content than ever before, whether it's on platforms like Twitch and TikTok or Kitsch. If you don't know Kitsch, Kittch, it's a fantastic platform for the food obsessed. Friends of mine have created this incredible place. I want you to go discover it. But whether you use Instagram, Pinterest, TikTok, Twitch, Facebook, Twitter Spaces, whatever you do, there are things you can do to distinguish yourself and make the efforts that you undertake to be out in the world as one of the great restaurateurs, as one of the great food businesses today, a little bit more productive, a little bit more valuable, a little bit more competitive, because we're all competing for attention. How do you break through the noise to get the attention of your customer? First of all, you need to know who your target customer is. And then once you identify them, once they've come to your restaurant, bonding with them and continuing to create a relationship with them is the core of creating the community that becomes your brand and your business. That's why social audio, social media, and all the other tools are going to be so important in the time ahead. That's why today we're going to introduce you to an extraordinary young woman who is taking one of these, seems like a very small thing, called a GIF. Do you know what a GIF is? Well, if you don't, we're going to give you the ultimate definition of what a GIF is and what Giphy does. And did you know that if you, like me, love to listen to the spoken word, there is a Giphy coming for you too. We are thrilled today to welcome Elizabeth Doss from IzzyInk. She is the mistress of all GIFs. I think I said Goss for your last name instead of Doss because I have the Giphy sound on my brain. But Elizabeth, welcome. What on earth, my dear, is a GIF?
Yes, it's so nice to be here with you. So yes, a GIF, and I do pronounce it GIF. Well, you might get into that in a little bit, but I accept all pronunciations because I think
as opposed to GIF, right?
Right. It's a part of the charm, I think. The GIF stands for graphic interchange format. And what it basically means is it's a type of file that has more than one frame in it. Just like you think old school animation with like the little flip books, what it's doing is filing picture after picture in a particular order. And so even the video GIFs that you see are actually broken down into these little images that are being filed one after another. And so it's presenting this to you in this sequential format, and then it loops back around. That sounds all very technical and all these things, but the crazy wild part about GIFs and Giphy is that people are using them instead of texting. They can have whole GIF conversations because they are identifying with the emotions connected with the GIF. And so something that makes them sad or is disgusting or makes them happy, they're using these little interactions to converse with one another. And so it's an absolutely fascinating part of the internet. And I'm sure everybody has sent a GIF or received one or seen one in an email, et cetera, at some point. This is a format that we know of, but not a lot of people know about how they're made.
Elizabeth, we want to thank you for coming and being with us because you are one of the experts that are our friend in the business. You have over, did I read this correct? 3.7 billion with a B views of the GIFs that you at IzzyInk Studios have created?
That's right. So I was on Instagram and I came across someone that had made an illustrator that had made their own GIFs. And I was like, what is this? I want to do this. And so I started researching on how to make that happen and how to get verified with Giphy so that your GIFs can show up in the back end of most social media apps. So Giphy is the second largest GIF search engine, and they are serving up, are you ready for this? 10 billion GIFs daily to 700 million users daily.
Wow.
So this is collecting from all the times you type into a GIF search engine and the times that GIFs are presented to you in that way. So if you're searching in Facebook comments, if you're searching for Giphy stickers, if you're on TikTok and you're trying to add a Giphy clip to these various things, then that's where that number, but it's serving up these GIFs that are in a library on Giphy.com. They have separate libraries that serve up to different parts of different things, because there are GIF stickers that are transparent, and then there's solid GIFs that show up in different places, like Facebook comments. You get solid GIFs, not stickers. And so I know I'm talking social media and all that kind of stuff, and I get a little excited.
I love that you get excited. Let's talk about, if I'm a restaurateur,
yes,
if I'm an ice cream shop, if I'm a food truck that serves crepes,
yep.
If I'm in the food business, how can I use these?
Yes. So there's several ways. I'm going to start, actually, I'm going to step away from social media for just a second, and let's just take a look at emails and websites for a moment. Anytime you open up an email and there is a moving thing or something that's changing color automatically on its own without you having clicked on anything, that is a GIF. So these eye-catching, attention-grabbing moments that happen that are embedded within emails or on websites are a graphic interchange format. They are a GIF that is rotating through these images. So why is this powerful? Well, just like our survival of the fittest, our eyes are drawn to the little movement on the screen. And so people capitalize on that and strategically place these to these different things. And so you have this opportunity to draw people's attention in this way and highlight certain things within emails and within websites. You could, there's a lot of information that you can add into it. But then on the social media side, it's pretty powerful to be able to have your own branded GIFs so that when you are posting content, you can add you're not spending time looking for a sticker or looking for something. You have your own library that's branded to your brand's colors, your brand font, etc. And so for an ice cream shop, for instance, they may want to have their own custom illustrations that that really shout out their favorite flavors that they make, or even a certain design that they use, or even their logo. They could have an animated logo that they're posting on their social media content. But one of the powerful ways of using these is teaching your audience to use them. So say someone comes to the ice cream shop and they are cheersing with their double-decker cones of all the favorite flavors. They can search your handle at myfavoriteicecreamshop.com or whatever. They can search your handle in any GIF search and be able to pull from a library of GIFs to be able to add those stickers to their own content. So it's like this meta within a meta situation. They can add your content to their content and present you to their audience, becoming these micro influencers. That is actually one of the most sought after things, is that word of mouth, organically type thing. So you would be able to teach your audience how to use those stickers and share it with other people.
So if you sent me something really cool, like you came to my ice cream shop, you got your favorite black cherry marble ice cream or gelato, which is what I had last night, which is why I have it on the top of my brain. And we created the next day a little thank you note. You sent me a little email, and in the thank you note, you created a little visual image of a dancing, happy cone of gelato.
Yes.
And you let me use that. How do I then take that and put it in my emails to people? Does it automatically happen, or do I have to go set up an account and pay a fee and do all these things to make it happen for me? Because this is one of the genius things about using these, in my opinion.
So, sorry, you're asking how someone would take it from an email?
If you sent me an email with a little GIF with my ice cream cone,
yeah,
can I just take it out of that and send it to my friends?
Yeah, you can save it to your desktop.
Look at this.
So this is one of my clients. This is Glenda Baker, and she's a real estate agent. And so her colors are obviously blue, and her fonts, etc. And so what we went through with hers is hang
on. Let's stop scrolling for a second. This looks fantastic. So she had you do these for her.
Yes. And one thing that we talk about is vernacular or phrases, because she is full of personality, and oh my stars is one of her things. Stars are her thing. And so what we did with hers is and she doesn't say wow. She says, oh my stars. And so we pulled her vernacular and we made these GIFs that were her personality. So she, not only does she use them on her account, but her followers, because a lot of people follow her to learn how to do TikTok for real estate and all that type of stuff, but they use her stickers on their own stuff. Now that they know that they're out there, and you can search her handle in any GIF search to find these, and you search at Glenda Baker with 2 N's, and you can find these. And I'm saying this to say, think about your own, the ice cream shop. How do they talk about deliciousness? How do they talk about the flavors of the month? How would you use that in your own language, and then create a series of GIFs that you can then use on other pieces of content and bring across that brand personality?
And when I click on one of those, it takes me right to her website, or it takes me right to the house listing that she has at the moment, or someplace where I want to bring people to.
In some places, yes.
You can make it do that, is what you're telling me.
Yes, in emails, it could do that. In other
this is great. Let's go back up to my engineer is having a blast with this. Look at how excited he is. So this is Chef Gordon Ramsay, one of the most famous celebrity chefs in the world. 286 million views on GIFs. He's done 103 uploads. Tell me what an upload on a Giphy is.
So that includes either the stickers or the full-size GIFs. So if we could click, if whoever's driving could click on the It's Raw one. So the reason that this one has over 24 million views, you can see the views down in the bottom right-hand corner, is because that somebody is texting this to their friend, because we've heard him say this, I don't know how many times. And so I mean, I even hear him saying it right now in my head. And, but people, and so people use these to communicate. But what if your response, your brand or business could have this? Now, we recognize Gordon Ramsay, but you could have your restaurant's website or your handle for social media at the bottom of this screen, and people would be able to then find out who this person is. But you could have your own reaction GIFs like this that you can either DM in Instagram by hitting the little plus sign or responding to Instagram stories, or in a Facebook comment. So let's say somebody posts a picture of their cooking. They could respond to that cooking video with a custom GIF from your restaurant talking about, oh, that looks delicious. And it has your website written in the bottom of it. And so I hope that makes sense.
Yeah. And when we look at Chef Gordon Ramsay with this, people use that phrase, it's raw, as their reaction.
Yes.
If we go back to Gordon Ramsay, Nathan, if you could do that for me, my engineer is fantastic. Mm-hmm. He was probably pulling up the next one. But if we go back to Gordon Ramsay, I want to scroll through a little bit. Let's scroll down a little bit more and show some of the ones that are video images. These are all very interesting things that people use that exist out in the library of reactions they can choose from. Yes. So when you are reacting in social media,
what are you?
It's right? Like, we're chuckling about this, but it's gotten how many? Almost 600,000 views.
Yeah,
that's fantastic. Why are these important? Because you can use a Giphy in a reaction in any social media, to the best of my knowledge. Is there anyone that doesn't, cooperate with Giphy?
So anything that's Microsoft or Google has a little bit of because Meta purchased Giphy, Facebook purchased Giphy at some point. But so you kind of have workarounds for those. You can still use them on LinkedIn. You just have to save them to your computer and then upload them to LinkedIn. So that's the only one. But Giphy really works to make their API available to anyone to be able to use. So they're usable on Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok, Slack, Clubhouse. So there's and Twitter, you can add them on Twitter. But the really cool thing is when you upload once, it's available to all. So that part's really cool that you can, we're not putting them all these places. Once we upload, you can search them and find them in all of those places. So this is actually one of my
let's go now. Yep. This is fascinating. This is obviously another client, but can you scroll back up, Nathan, to the front of this, to the top of this? Because to me, you've gotten my attention with the French Bulldog, and yet this isn't a French Bulldog site necessarily. Talk a little bit about how you can use something that is very brand specific to your company and your restaurant or your food truck or your consumer product, and how you would then use it and deviate from it. Further down here, it's VP. What does VP mean here?
This is Karina Vial. She's a real estate agent. I do a lot of real estate agents. They like to have their face on things. We know this. And so
talk show hosts.
And so she is located in South Texas. And so she wanted some reaction GIFs to some of the things that she was posting, but she obviously has her lovely little dog, Dexter. And so thinking about how you can take personalities in your brand and then highlight other parts of your brand. So she is using these Dexter approves to say that this is a nice kitchen, this is a nice bathroom, all these things. So she's taking that part of her life and overlapping it by using this sticker. So for a restaurant, there could be if there is a chef or a personality associated with it, if the city, if they're really involved with the city or other things like that, there's a way for you to use these GIFs that are kind of around your brand that point back towards where they could get get back to you. So I help out a little bit with a social media account here in Greenville, South Carolina. It's Smoke on the Water. We're downtown near the big waterfall downtown. And like we have our own barbecue sauces and stuff like that. And so to make little, I'm in the process of making them for the restaurant, but to make a little sauce bottle that moves, or using adjectives that describe your food, and having these little stickers. So yeah, this is a great one. This is from Bubbly, and they actually do tutorial videos as a part of their GIFs. And so they are doing a cocktail here where they're showing you how much of certain flavors of bubbly you should use, and then add the alcohol and the other flavors to it. And so one powerful way that I've seen this used is a friend of mine. I do have her website on here too, but she actually, when she sends a newsletter, will send a little tutorial GIF that shows someone how to paint a little picture. But it makes me want to open up her email every time, because I know that I'm going to learn something. And so even some of the restaurants stuff, maybe how to reheat your leftovers, how to choose the right vegetable for, like how to tell if something's right, how to chop something up, and just get your chef or your sous chef to kind of show some of the behind the scenes like this, but in answering questions, or maybe teaching people that are coming a little bit more about your process, the farms that you go to, all that kind of stuff. So it's a fun way, the tutorial side too.
Okay, this is so cool. And this is one brand that really gets it.
Yes.
But brands that get it are already doing this.
Yes.
What comes next? What's the next trend in GIFs and the Giphy universe?
Well, I think that one small part I think that we are about to see is that the GIFs themselves will become interactive. Right now on social media, for the most part, you can't click on one to get to the next thing. Though that only works if you're embedding a website into it in an email or on
you already control.
Website. Correct. So like when you're using GIF stickers in Insta Stories, it becomes a part of the video. It's no longer interactive, but the technology's there for interactive stickers. And so what I'm curious about is if at some point you would be able to have your little ice cream cone that's dancing, or your sauce bottle, and people could actually touch it, and then it would take them to purchasing that, or purchasing a gift card, or where your locations are, all that type of stuff. And so I do think that technology is hopefully catching up. But I do know that GIFs are being used as NFTs. And so I think there's a whole other part of this that people could potentially create NFTs around certain dishes that they're famous for, and have a GIF that shows that with the, because we eat first with our eyes, and to see that the steam coming off of it, or to see how it's prepared, or even recipes attached to some of them. But because you can have GIFs NFTs that are GIFs that loop through. So, okay.
So the other thing I want to make sure we talk about is, because I'm a talk show host, I've been hosting radio shows for 25 years. I love the sound of human voice. Social audio has given us the human voice, but so do Twitch and TikTok. You told me that the human voice is coming to Giphy soon.
It is. It's already here, guys. And you can be an early adopter. About just a couple of months ago, Giphy released Giphy Clips, which is separate from stickers, separate from GIFs. Giphy Clips actually have a short audio file attached to them. So while they are like videos, they actually have an audio that's loopable in it. Now, right now, the only platform that, is keeping up and ahead of the game is TikTok. They have created a API for you to be able to use Giphy Clips within TikTok. So let's say you are pulling something out of the oven, a freshly baked whatever, and you can cut to a Giphy clip of like an audience like cheering, and then the sound is actually embedded in it. But let's take Chef Ramsay, for instance. Say you had a complete fail in the kitchen. You could cut straight to a disgust or another type of vocal reaction that would come out that you can add, then cut into your videos that you're already creating. But
can you imagine if we took Julia Child's voice saying, "That's raw," so that when Gordon Ramsay was saying that's raw, and it's like the big manly Gordon Ramsay is like, "That's raw,"
and just mess with everybody.
Yeah, we're gonna try
it. Seriously.
Seriously? Where's the raw one? Maybe we can get to that. Let's see if that actually plays.
Oh, that's amazing.
Can we scroll down? There it is. There's it's raw. It's ready. It's raw. Yeah, it might need a little help, but I think we can see the future when we see something like that. Can you imagine if we got our own publisher, Michael Politz? Hello, Jennifer. It's raw. You know, I could see Michael having a Hall of Fame career with audio GIFs.
It's hilarious.
Listen, how can people get in touch with you to incorporate the powerful future world of these tiny technologies into their own restaurants and food businesses?
Yeah, definitely. So you can always find me at IzzyInkStudios.com. That's where all of the magic starts, I think. But I also show up a lot on Instagram at IzzyInk. And you can, I talk a lot about how you can use GIFs in your daily practice. So, because I really want people to start thinking about them as these touch points of being able to send some digital love and digital reactions to people. So you can head to IzzyInkStudios.com. He's showing right now, and these are some of my client work that I have done in the past. And I also, if you ever want to see my GIFs, you can search in any GIF search at IzzyInk, and you'll be able to pull up my GIF stickers and GIF reactions. Now, I've done a lot more for my clients because about a year ago, I heard this phrase of look to where the attention of your generation is and lean into it. And I knew I had this GIF skill. And so I went and looked at where my GIFs were at and realized that it was over at that point 3.3 billion times. And I was like, okay, there's attention here. People are looking at these. And then I started to think about how brands and businesses could be able to add them to their marketing toolkit as just a fun way to interact with their communities.
I love every single thing about this. And chefs, when their clients and their guests couldn't come into the restaurant because of COVID, they started doing online cooking classes, sending them the ingredients, being interactive. Part of me wants to do online cooking classes for restaurateurs where we can talk to the world's leading experts and give them some inspiration and advice about how they can make things even richer for their selves and their businesses. And then I realized that's exactly what Food and Beverage Magazine Live is. And it's what the Food and Beverage Magazine Guide to Restaurant Success is, the book that Michael Politz wrote. And as we begin to discover more and more new technologies and ways to communicate where our customers live, where our guests want to hear from us, we're going to have a lot of really fun ways to imagine. Because as we said before, and we'll say again, every single one of us in the restaurant business and the hospitality industry is now a content producer. One of the many dimensions of creating content is going to come in these microbursts, these short forms, these GIFs and Giphies, these Giphy audios. I'm excited about it. I love having a new friend in the business to come and visit with us again. I would love to have you on once a month to teach us a masterclass on how to keep up with things. Things are changing so fast that I almost think we would have to do this once a month just to stay on top of what's going on.
It's the truth. It's a speeding bullet. We got to be Superman.
So let me ask you a question. Did you bring us a GIF for today for sharing with our audience? So
That's a good idea.
I love this. So here's the thing. I don't mean to catch you off guard, but I want to point out every single one of us that's in the hospitality industry right now has a moment like this where we can say, what else can I do? What else could I do? This is a moment in time to say, how cool would it be that every time you went on as a guest anywhere, you have your own little link GIF to send and share with the audience. So let me ask you this. Out of all the GIFs that you've created that you would want to share with our hospitality industry audience, with Michael Politz, the publisher of Food and Beverage Magazine, and with me, what kind of GIF would you create for a moment like this? And how in the creative world that you live in, where you are fully fluent in your generational connection to where the attention is flowing, how could you translate my 100-year-old lady, old lady, real world non-gifness into something gify?
So I think one of the most powerful ways that people use these are in responding to their friends. And so I have a friend that I helped her. She does a lot of inspirational quotes, and these seem to be the ones that people will send to one another. And so she has one that we made for her that says, "You're amazing." It has nothing to do with her business, but it's been viewed over 4 million times. And so because people are wanting to send encouragement and love to each other. And so I would say to you, because I've heard you use that to ask the question, are you ready? But maybe forming that either into keep the question, because I think that that's powerful in and of itself, but even one that says it's time, I think you're ready. Some way that you can put out there for your community and your people to encourage them and bring them, because then they start sending that to each other, or it gets found organically through keywords that we put in the background that people begin to share your words of wisdom because it's something people need to hear. And so I would say, as far as that goes, those powerful messages that you are trying to encourage your community with, I think creating a series of GIFs that are almost like greeting cards, wisdom from Jennifer that they get in their inbox, and just these little beautiful animations that can convey that.
So are you hearing an article for a future episode? But are you hearing an article for a future magazine? Are you imagining what a future issue of Food and Beverage Magazine might include if we did a story together? We might have to collaborate on a story for the magazine for the readers.
That'd be incredible. And I think it would blow a lot of people's minds. Well, I think one thing that grabs people is like, wait, you mean we can make GIFs? They think that some like little person is just over there making all of these. No, these are individuals, these are artists, these are brands that are making these GIFs and fueling them out there for people to be able to use. So why wouldn't you want a little bit of that real estate and show up in this realm, this place?
Giphy Queen Elizabeth Doss, thank you so much for being here with us today. This was really fun. How did you meet these fantastic men? Ian, Paul, it's so lovely to have you here with us. Welcome. And I raise my glass to welcome you. Welcome. The incredible Vanessa Hudgens and Oliver Trevina. Hello and welcome. Hi. Cheers.
Hi. How you doing?
Talk about the fact that the incredible Padma Lakshmi is joining us. Our extraordinary friend Diane Meena joins us from her home. Jeremiah Tower, who joins us today from his home in the beautiful Merida, Mexico. He joins us now, Chef Ming Tsai. Aloha and welcome.
What's going on, Jen? Good to see you.